Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Halo Infinite campaign, going for the third and final type of audio logs in the form of the UNSC Audio Logs. This is going to get us the Canon Collector achievement. First one can be found during the second story mission, which is going to be Foundation. You're going to get to this point towards the end of the mission where you're going to make your way down this bridge in order to get a power seed in order to power up the elevator that you need to escape in. So basically, next to the power seed holder, you're going to find the audio log right here towards your left. Very hard to miss. Make sure you grab that. After you pick up your first audio log, you should be given an achievement right here. This one is going to be called the Dispatches from the Front achievement for 10 gamer score. Now, most of the UNSC audio logs are going to be gotten during the open world segment of the game. There's not going to be another story-related one until the 10th mission, which is going to be Nexus. So once you start the open world, we are going to be on the first island. We are going to want to capture Fob Golf. Once you have Fob Golf captured from the vehicle spawner, you want to make sure you look towards your right. Next to these sandbags is going to be your next audio log, so make sure you pick that one up. We are going to move to the left and then capture Fob Foxtrot. Over here from the vehicle spawner, you want to make sure you turn your attention to the left and then grab it next to this shipping container. The next one is going to be located at the tower. You're going to come here as part of the fourth story mission. Once you get the gravel lift turned on, make sure you take it into the tower. Of course, you can get this done at the same time as the actual mission, but you are going to have to deal with enemies along the way. But of course, you are also able to do this later on during the actual open world segment. Once you make your way into the tower from the place where you got the armor upgrade, make sure you take a right. The door should open. Just keep taking the staircases up until you get to this specific level of the tower. Once you are here, make sure you hang a left. The tablet is going to be located in a little alcove. You can use your tactical view if you are having trouble seeing through all of the fog, but it's going to be right here leaning up against this specific column. Make sure you grab that, and that should take care of this one. As for the next two audio logs, these are going to be located at the first outpost, which is going to be the Ransom Keep. I recommend clearing out the outpost first, but once you do, from the fast travel point, which is going to be the front gate, make sure you head through the outpost. There's going to be the main hangar on your right for a reference. You're going to keep taking this main road until you get to a fork. The left part of the fork is going to take you further into the outpost, and the right path is going to take you into this canyon. Make sure you take the right one to go into the canyon, and then at the end of this canyon is going to be a dead end, and then at that dead end is going to be your next audio log. So make sure you head this way, and then you should be able to grab it. It's going to be all the way in the back, so just keep trucking forward, and then once you hit that dead end, grab your tablet, and then we should be good to get the second one in the outpost. Now, this one's going to be directly above you, so make sure you turn around, and then you're going to try to basically head back the way you came, but you want to make sure you grapple on it to the cliff side. So make sure you grapple up to the left side, and then you should be on the cliff. Make sure you take the cliff up until you get to the tree line right here. Follow the tree line until you find a fallen tree, and then directly over that fallen tree should be your audio log. It's going to be on some more marine equipment, so make sure you just grab that, and that should take care of this outpost. That should also be the last one for the first island. After you clear the tower, you should extend the bridge and get access to the second island. Once you are on the island, make sure you capture Fob Echo, and then once you are at the Fob, from the vehicle spawner, make sure you look to your left, and then on this stack of tanks, there should be your next audio log right here on this corner. Next one up, it should be at this outpost, which is going to be right next to that fob. This is going to be the redoubt of Sundering. From the entrance to the outpost, what you want to do is you want to make sure you take a left. It's going to be on the cliff side, directly outside of the outpost. So make sure you head up to where the trees are right here. And then from here, you want to make sure you look for it behind this part of the cliff, right over here, right next to this ration right here. Once you scan that one in, make sure you head back to the outpost. You can either walk back or you can fast travel back, which should take you back to the front gate regardless. You are going to want to have the outpost captured so you don't have to worry about any enemies, but make sure you grapple hook on inside. And then once you get into the main area, make sure you take the little main road right here up the hill. And we're going to head towards the back wall right here. And then from here, make sure you grapple hook on to the little ramp right here. You can take either way. Probably the best way is to loop through this little hole to get to this building. But your goal is to get to that ramp and take it up. And then what you want to do is want to make sure you look right here behind the base. There should be a little cave. And then what you want to do is want to make sure you head inside said cave. And then we're going to take this into the cave and then explore through the darkness. And then you're going to keep heading through until you get to this red light. And then you should notice the audio log right next to said red light. Make sure you grab that. And that's going to be one more. And that should take care of the outpost. Moving on to this outpost up north, which is going to be the Forge of Tish. This is going to be from the fast travel station, so the outpost is going to be on your right. We are going to head to the left, and then there's going to be this cliff face facing the front of the outpost. Make sure you use your grapple hook to get up here, and you want to make sure you search this side of the cliff face. You're going to have this little grassy area, and then on the grassy area should be a little campsite where someone was staking out, and then next to that should be your audio log on this box right here. So make sure you grab that, and then that should take care of this one. For the next one, we are also going to use that same outpost as a reference. So from the fast travel point, which is going to be the road leading up to the front gate, you want to make sure you head through the outpost. So again, hopefully you have this one cleared because things are going to be way easier when you don't have enemies to deal with them. Make sure you grapple on inside, and there's going to be the main hangar to your right as a reference. Make sure you just head straight through the outpost, and your goal is to head to the back cliff right here. So just make sure you make a straight line all the way over to the back wall. There should be some X's on it, and then what you basically have to do is you have to make sure you grapple on to this wall, which is going to take you to the back side of the outpost. So once you get to the top of the wall, you're going to notice this little path right here that's going to take you over this part of the cliff. Make sure you take this up to the cliff face, and then you want to make sure you follow it to your left. And this is going to take you to this path, and you are eventually going to end up in this cave right here. And then make sure you just crouch on inside, and then inside this cave is going to be your next audio log. So just make sure you look for it among this campsite right here on this tarp, and that's going to be one more to our collection to scan in. Next one up is going to be at another fob. This one's going to be Fob Charlie, directly in the middle of the island. From the vehicle spawner, which you want to do is want to make sure you turn in this direction, and then it's going to be on this box right here. This audio log is going to be located at the excavation site, which is going to be the setting for mission 5. You are going to have to get this one during the mission or after the mission, as you are going to need to get access to the inside of the drill. So the drill is going to open up as part of the mission. However, if you come back later during the open world segment, you can access the drill anytime you want. So try to grapple hook up here. There's going to be the drill for reference, and if you are coming back here, you are going to need to take the hole to get inside. If you are doing this during the mission, you take the gravel lift to get inside, but nonetheless your goal is to get to the main little control center of the drill. So it's going to be this little room right here, and then make sure you turn your attention to the left, and then make sure you look in this back room, and in the back corner of this room is going to be your audio log. It's going to be right here in this corner next to some guns. Make sure you grab this one, and that should take care of that. Moving back up north, you are going to have another fob right here in the form of Fob Alpha, which is going to be the closest one to Outpost Tremonius. From the vehicle spawner, you're going to turn in this direction, and then leaning up against this giant box is going to be another audio log. So scan that one in, and that should take care of another easy one. Another outpost means another 2 audio logs located near the outpost. This one's going to be the Armory of Reckoning. From the fast travel point, which is going to put you in this middle road splitting the 2 halves of the outpost, you want to make sure you take a left into the main half. Make sure you take the hilly path up to this part with the locked gate that you needed to blow open to free some Marines. Behind that, there's going to be this hill that you can take up. Make sure you go that way. So there's going to be the lock for reference, and then you can jump over here, and then you should have this back path, which should lead you down this ravine. Make sure you just keep following it, and then right here in this alcove is going to be yet another audio log. So make sure you grab that and then head back to that road, or you can fast travel back to the beginning of the outpost. Once you are back at that junction, what you want to do, instead of heading to the right to go to the main part of the base, you're going to take a right and go to the supplementary part of the base. You are going to want to wrap around the right side of this building right here, and then you're going to stick to the wall. Just keep following the wall until you get to this part right here with this red light. Make sure you get past that. There should be another red light right here with a wrecked vehicle, and then in the trunk of this vehicle should be your next audio log. You're going to have to jump and scan in order to get it, but that should take care of this outpost once you do pick that up. Then moving up here to the upper right to Fob Bravo from the vehicle spawner, make sure you look to your left and then grab it next to this set of sandbags, another easy Fob related one. Another outpost, another 2 audio logs to grab. This one's going to be the Horn of Abolition. From the front of the outpost right here, you're going to want to head back to the main road, take a left, and then just follow this along, and then you should see some marine supplies off to your right. It should be pretty close by, so make sure you do keep an eye out for it. It's going to be right here, and then once you notice it, the audio log should be pretty obvious. There might be some enemies roaming around, so make sure you take care of them, but right here in this pile of rubble is going to be your audio log on this rock with some canteens and some equipment. So grab that one, and then make sure you either fast travel back to the base, or you can just walk back since it wasn't too far away. This one is going to be located on the cliff face at the back of the base, so make sure you just head through the base. There's going to be the main hangar as a reference. You're going to head behind that, and then just keep following the hilly road until you get to the back. You should be able to go behind the base by taking this rocky road up. Keep heading up, and then eventually you're going to get back on to a hillside road. You're going to keep following it until you get to this open area right over here. Then your goal is to go to the cliffside on your right. It's easiest to go on the left side first and then just grapple hook straight over. Your goal is to look for an antenna. That's how you know you're in the right place. Antenna is going to be right over here. There's going to be a little sniper's nest at this antenna, and then in said nest is going to be your audio log. So make sure you look for that antenna, and then right behind it is going to be your sleeping bag with your audio log in front of it in the sniper nest. Make sure you grab that, and then we can head on down here to Fob Delta. Another Fob, another super easy audio log. From the vehicle spawner, look slightly to your left, another shipping container, and another audio log directly out in the open for you to grab. Then to wrap up the second island, you're going to want to head next to the spire. There should be a crashed pelican right here. This is where you would find the Spartan core. And then from there to the left slightly is going to be this wrecked vehicle. And then on the tire of the wrecked vehicle, there should be your next audio log, so make sure you grab that. Then what you want to do is make sure you head over to the fourth island. This is going to be the last island of the open world segment. You get access to this one about halfway through the ninth mission, the sequence. Make sure you capture your first fob here, which is going to be Fob Lima. It should be the closest one to the start of that mission. From the vehicle spawner, make sure you look over here to your right, and then behind this sleeping bag is going to be your next audio log. Then we're going to head slightly north to Fob November, and we're going to capture that. And then from the vehicle spawner, make sure you look slightly to your left. On this little pallet right here is going to be your next audio log, another Fob, another easy one. Then after that one, we're going to head to the main outpost of the island, which is going to be Riven Gate. This is going to be the eastern side of the outpost. So which ones do you want to make sure you go over here to this set of cliffs right here, and then you are going to climb your way up. There's going to be another little sniper's nest right here. So make sure you look for that, and then once you find it, there's going to be an audio log among it. Look for the trees and the yellow footlocker that goes along with them, and then the sniper's nest is going to be right here overlooking the outpost. Make sure you grab the audio log right here next to the sniper rifle, and then we are going to move on. Then you're going to want to capture the outpost, which should take a while. This is going to be one of the bigger outposts in the game. But once you do finally manage to capture it, you're going to want to head on inside. Again, this is from the eastern entrance as a reference. So once you are inside, you're going to want to take the main road down. Again, hopefully it should be safe after capturing it. And then you're going to just keep heading forward. You're going to want to keep going until you get to this security tower on your right here. So once you see the security tower, which is going to be right next to the western entrance, you are going to want to grapple hook up to it, and this should allow you to head over to the little cliffside right here. And then once you are here, you're going to notice yet another cave. Make sure you don't go into the cave. Instead, you're going to head over the cave by grapple hooking onto the cliffside directly above it. There should be a path right here, and then next to this cliff face is going to be some equipment and another audio log. So make sure you pick that one up, and that should take care of the two for this outpost. Heading down from there, you're going to have another fob in the form of fob kilo, and another fob means another easy audio log to find. So from the vehicle spawner, make sure you turn all the way around, and then behind the armory, you're going to have the corner guardrail, and then the audio log is going to be right here on this box. So once you grab that, we're going to move on to another big outpost in the form of the Annex Ridge. This is going to be from the top of the elevator, which is going to be on the western side of the outpost. Once you are here, make sure you take a left, and then you're going to head up this set of hills. Your goal is to go for that hexagonal column directly behind this building right here. So make sure you grapple on over. There's going to be an open garage right there at the base of the hexagon thing. Your goal is to not get to the top, but over to this right side right here. So make sure you go to as far right as you can, and then just grapple straight up. And then on this right corner, there should be this orange footlocker. And then on top of that should be your audio log, which is going to take care of the first one. But of course, every outpost is going to have two audio logs near and around it. So once you have that one, we're going to turn around. Here's going to be the main area of the outpost for reference, which is going to be the Forerunner relic. Make sure you grapple hook over here, and then you're going to scale the wall. Again, the relic is going to be to your left for a reference. You're going to want to head directly behind it. So make sure you just take this way over, and then you should have some more hexagon bits directly behind it right over here. And then on top of these, there's going to be another similar audio log in a location that's not quite at the top, but it's going to be on your way to the top. So it's going to be right here. Best place to grab it is going to be starting from the bottom and then working your way up. So just grapple hook on over, and then make sure you get to it. And then once you do, you should be done with yet another outpost. Next one up is going to be another fob-related one. This one's going to be over at Fob Juliet, and like all of the fob-related ones, this one's going to be super duper easy. From the vehicle spawner, make sure you look to your left, and then leading up against this shipping container is going to be your audio log. Then we have another fob, and this is going to be the last open world one in the form of Fob Hotel. Again, super duper easy. From the vehicle spawner, make sure you turn all the way around, and then right here on the deck is going to be your last open world audio log. So make sure you grab that, and it's going to be back to the story. Make sure you wrap up the mission, the sequence, which is going to take you to the 10th mission, which is going to be Nexus. Play through the story mission until you get to this point. This is when you interact with this thing, which is the actual titular Nexus. And that's basically going to task you with popping 3 power seeds into these 3 slots directly in front of you. Now, before we go for any actual power seeds, we are going to go for the collectible first, because obviously we want to prioritize stuff that is missable. So you want to make sure you head straight. This is going to be the topmost vertex of the triangle. And then you're going to want to head through this door. And then once you are in this room, make sure you turn your attention to your left. And then over this platform in this corner is going to be your next audio log. So make sure you grab that. After that, you're going to continue to play the story until you hit mission number 12, which is going to be Repository. Keep playing through this mission until you get to this point. You are going to interact with this switch to override some kind of lockdown. I'm not going to spoil it, but you are going to be ambushed by some enemies from the 3 doors directly in front of you, to your right and then to your left. So make sure you make swift work of all of those guys. Once the coast is clear, you're going to be given a choice on which path you can take, either left or right. I would recommend you take the left path since this also leads to the collectible. So make sure you just take the left door and then just follow along through here. You have this first big open room right here. You can take out the enemies or you can ignore them if you're more of the speed runny type. But your goal is to make it through this next hallway right here. Again, take out the enemies if you must. Once you get into this room, though, which should be this weapon room, you are going to notice the audio log right over here on this table. So make sure you pick that one up, and then we should be good for this mission, and then we can continue on. The last UNSC audio log is going to be gotten on the penultimate mission of the game, which is going to be the House of Reckoning. This is going to be the room where the first trial takes place. So make sure you head to the middle of this room. Recommend grabbing this one before the trial starts, obviously. You are going to notice a warthog right here, and then to the left of that is going to be this stack of boxes. Follow the boxes until you get to the end, and the audio log is going to be right here. Make sure you grab that. That should be all of them. You should be given the Canon Collector achievement right here for a 10 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.